What are your plans for Valentine's Day? Yeah, I'm alone. No shock there, you guys. Mama's gonna need a refill. It's time to fall head over heels in love while getting your funny bone tickled. Welcome to 14 Days of Rom Coms, where we watch some of our favorite romantic comedies in order to get ready for that dreaded holiday, Valentine's Day. Today, I'm joined over the internet by Kalamazoo's own Jason Alt. Jason, what movie did you pick and why?
I picked the movie Say Anything because it's probably the second best John Cusack movie from the 80s, but it's the one that best fits your criteria of rom-com. So we didn't watch Better Off Dead this time. Maybe for some other celebrate. That's a good Christmas movie, right? Better Off Dead?
There you go. Keep it in the back pocket for a future film or feature thing. Yeah. So like you brought up this video series, I'm saying that comedies have similar themes. And the first theme that we're looking for is how does this movie show heartache and heartbreak?
Well, you get to see sad John Cusack walking around, right? Like he's got a mopey face, but like he perfects the mopey face in this movie. He's sort of like, hey, you're going to England. Can I go to England too? I want to kickbox someday. And she's like, I guess. You're literally the only guy I've had sex with, so sure. Yeah. There was some weird psychosexual dynamics between her and the dad, which as a parent I gotta look out for, because I'll likely be a single dad someday, let's be honest.
Oh, snap.
So I gotta worry about keeping kickboxers away from my daughter. Anybody that drives a Chevy Malibu, forget about it.
So the relationship between Diane and her father is interesting, like you bring up, because he tells her to break up with Lloyd, that she's needs to go off and do better things, basically. And I mean, I guess that is something that a father would probably warn a girl about, but it's kind of messed up.
Even when I was like 15 or 16 watching this movie for the first time, I was like, yeah, that's pretty good advice. I'll be honest. He has no prospects. He's just like a good dude, which is cool. You want Lloyd to succeed, right? You want him to win in the end, but at the same time, it's sort of like, yeah, he's got no prospects. So
one of the other themes is when you're going through heartache, you tend to lean on your friends for support. So how does this movie show friend support?
Well, his friends, his male friends give him terrible advice, and then you expect his female friends to give him good advice, but they don't. Everyone gives him terrible high school advice. I think that's why this movie was so good, because it resonated with, like, he goes to a bunch of people that have no idea what they're doing. So, like, the two scenes where he went to his friends, he talked to his male friends who just hang out in the parking lot every night. And they're like, yeah, who needs bitches, man? He's like, yeah, but you guys hang out in a parking lot every night. You don't know anything. And they're like, oh, I gotta go home. My mom's calling. And then his female friends are basically like, Lloyd's the greatest. I wish he would date us. And he's like, friend zone these two chicks. Least of all 18-year-olds, right? Because like most of the characters in that movie were high school seniors, so they don't know shit, man. Have you talked to an 18-year-old lately? I thought I was pretty smart when I was 18, and I talked to like 25-year-olds, and I'm like, oh, you're an idiot.
So that really brings up the last point, that all rom-coms, they show romance, and we all know the iconic scene in this movie that's really like this very grand romantic gesture
when she gave him the pen. She handed him the pen and said, let's break up. That was quite a gesture. He was like, oh shit, a pen, I will write you letters. No, the romantic gesture. But here's the thing, the real romantic gesture was something he didn't even plan. It was when they were walking back from the 7-Eleven and there was glass in the street, and he's like, oh, watch out for that. She was never going to see him again before that happened. I would think. She had no okay time at the party or whatever, and they drove around all night with that drunk guy. But like, I kind of feel like before that happened, that impressed her more than the boombox. The boombox thing was more of like, hey, this is, remember that time we fucked? You don't have any other friends, so. So yeah,
real romance.
the real iconic gesture of the movie, which is him playing the song And it's a good thing they switched songs because I saw the director commentary. He's like, we're gonna have some Fishbone song or something like, oh, look, here's a crazy band I like. It's like, oh, it's Fugazi. Listen to this. But like, luckily they picked a decent. That song's fun to bang to, by the way, too. So they picked a good song for that. So like, if he's holding up a boombox playing Fishbone or some shit, like, yeah, Sunless Saturday. I don't know. I don't think the movie would have had quite the impact. So yeah, I get that that's the iconic scene when he holds up the boombox. That's all anybody knows about that movie, but I don't know that that was the real romantic gesture that had as much of an impact on her as the just the simple act of him just pointing out, "Don't step on that glass."
Yeah, that was kind of like the take me back, right? That was like the don't forget about our love.
It was more like, I didn't do anything wrong, and like, when you were making your own decisions, here's how things ended up. Why don't you just make your own decisions?
And that forced her to grow up in that moment and decide what she wanted. And
yeah, well, it made her realize.
Ever after.
Yeah, well, you don't know. The plane could have crashed.
You don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they fought as soon as they got to the UK, and he had no job. So who knows?
She just left him. Yeah.
I don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know what happened, but we do know that he was a sweet guy, and that's what women claim they want.
That's what women want. They want dudes to stand outside their windows and be nice to them. I don't.
That's not true.
I don't know what more you can.
I played the first song my ex and I ever banged to from a boombox outside her window, and her husband was really not about it.
Was that like last week?
Yeah, it was very recently. You asked me to watch this movie again. I was like, shit, I bet that would work.
Well, perfect. Thank you, Jason, for being a part of the video series 14 Days of Rom Coms. It's a blast. And thank you for picking a great movie.
Well, thank you for having me. This was a good time.